into the sound system. It's very strange sounding.
Okay, so how about this? How about you want me to type the question? So the question was around, can you hear me, Justin? Does that help?
Yeah, vaguely, for the most part. It's weird. It's like the longer you go on, I think some sort of anti-squeal system kicks in and it dampens out.
Interesting. So talk quickly.
No, just go ahead and type it. As long as you can hear me, okay, it'll be fine.
So the question was,
Let's see.
so I asked.
Oh, bounty hunters. Okay, bounty hunters are kind of a cool subject. They want to know if they are in, well, so let's go over the whole thing. So the problem is that we don't have much actual storage on the routers. We have 16 megabytes of it. But more than that is that we can't actually write to it all the time because it's NAND storage. So like any SSD or any solid state storage, there's a finite number of read-write cycles before the cells begin to die off. Now, in more advanced SSDs, they have these complex controllers with wear leveling software, and you can generally run them for an incredibly long amount of time before that's an issue. But the cheap soldered-on NAND chips in routers are not really designed to be written to frequently. You'll find similar issues like if you run a Raspberry Pi server for a few years, you'll notice you'll be able to store an SD card. So yeah, this means that we can't be constantly flushing much data to the disk. And this leaves us in the odd position of accidentally forgetting things we need to know about current channel states and about the blockchain. So our solution to this is to use bounty hunters. And the idea is that when you open a payment channel between routers, there's an amount of money that is set aside saying, hey, this money will be taken from the party that tries to publish an older channel and give it to the bounty hunter. So let's see, let's just go ahead and explain like the basic concepts of channels. So basic concept of like a off-chain blockchain payment channel is that both parties put some amount of money on the table and then write IOUs agreeing how that money is split up while it's still on the table. And each of these IOUs has a sequence number. And in the end, somebody gets to take these IOUs to the bank or to the blockchain in this case, and the amount is resolved and it is distributed among the two individuals. So the scam scenario here is that let's say we open a channel with some money on the table. I buy a bunch of bandwidth from you. You buy a bunch of bandwidth from me. So now we've seen like three states here. We've seen a state where I have almost no money left on the table and you have all the money on the table, and then vice versa. And what you could do is that you could go and publish a channel state that is older and say, hey, look, in this channel state, I have more money. So I'm going to publish this one to the blockchain and hope that I am able to get the money out in my favor, even though we've already agreed on several new channel states. So what we do with bounty hunters is that we update our latest channel state to the bounty hunter fairly frequently. And this is really a user configurable option. Maybe you do it every 50 cents. And what this would provide is that if your node went down or was disconnected from the internet, the bounty hunter would keep an eye on the blockchain. And if somebody tried to publish an earlier channel state, they would publish the latest channel state they have, and they would take a fee from the person who tried to publish the earlier channel state. Provided that the earlier channel state was, so there are a few more conditionals there that I'm getting to that I won't get into. Mostly scenarios where we're concerned, like we come back online and we want to publish a channel state for some reason. and we don't want to have to check that it's the absolute latest one. So yeah, and that way bounty hunters can make a little bit of money and provide security for nodes on the network that don't have to remember what's going on.
Awesome. That's a important question about.
Okay, that's much better when you're not using a microphone.
The saturation.
Oh yeah. The question about the saturation of the mesh nodes.
Oh, okay.
But
Did you hear that, Justin? So they
I can hear that, but I can't hear you. I can't hear it. Oh, you typed it. There we go. Let's see. How many hops? How many hops can we do? How do hops affect speed? How many hops does the body perform to get from point A to point B? Okay. How many hops can we do? That's a sort of interesting question because it depends a lot on the hardware you use. So the way we so first things first, what is speed? Speed on the internet is actually a misleading term because I can't just say the internet is fast. That doesn't actually mean anything. I could, for example, so here are two completely different scenarios. Let's say I send a packet and I ask Netflix for a video, and it takes Netflix 30 seconds to receive my request. But when they respond, they send a whole gigabyte at once. So it takes me 60 seconds to get the video here, but I've got the whole video. So that has very high throughput. So there's very high throughput, but also very bad latency. Likewise, there's the other possibility that I send a request for a video to Netflix, and I get a very small amount of video, and it sits there in buffers. And that is very low latency, but very low latency, but low throughput. So in general, we want a connection that is low latency and as high throughput as possible. But the defining characteristic of what we consider to be modern IP networks or the internet is low latency, not necessarily throughput. For example, a very slow dial-up connection is still an internet connection. It's still considered an internet connection. But if I mail you a hard drive, which is a very high latency connection, we don't consider that to be an internet connection. So you can't fundamentally do things like any sort of real-time communication. So now that I've outlined that, we can get into how many hops can we do. If each hop has equal performance devices, then we're looking at about a 5 to 10% drop of throughput per hop, and about half a millisecond of latency. So that means that if you start with devices that can do, let's say, well, this depends on how much you're going to spend on devices. So like if you pick our $15 devices, they do about 22 megabits per second. If you pick $300 devices, they do about 300 megabits per second. But anyways, so either way, as you string them together, throughput begins to go down because there are more links in the chain, and more links in the chain to screw up. It's like if you have a bucket brigade and they're all passing buckets. The longer the chain gets, the slower the bucket passing is going to get. Not necessarily because in theory, you could maintain perfect speed with an infinitely long chain where everybody has a bucket in each hand and they're always trying to pass them along. But eventually somebody's going to screw it up, they're going to drop one. And the more people you have, the higher the probability of that. So that's why you get that 5 to 10% performance degradation. Now this is for devices of the same speed. So if you have, let's say 10 or 15 300 megabit devices, and then you have like another 10 or 15 30 megabit devices, and you put them in a chain, the 30 megabit devices are going to start at 30 megabits at the end of that chain. They're not going to see, so like if they're hooked up to a faster device, there's no penalty. So you get this scenario where if you build a relatively fast sort of backbone made out of devices that are faster than the normal consumer devices, you typically won't have an issue hitting the maximum performance of the consumer devices. Yeah, so I think that covers the subject fairly well. What I'm fairly proud of is that we have very low latency additional per device. So you're going to run out of throughput, useful throughput, before you hit your latency limit. Because half a millisecond per device is fairly trivial. And we could have traded off more latency in exchange for keeping more throughput. But I would rather be sure that even at the deepest levels of the mesh, everybody can do like voice and video chat successfully. Okay, centralized exits. So that's actually an interesting question because so here's the problem with decentralized exits. The market rate for a VPN is negative because your data has value and can be sold. So let's say you had an automatically competitive VPN network. Well, the lowest VPN price will probably be 0 to avoid being suspicious because the negative price is outright suspicious. But the real cost of the connection is 0 because if they spy on you and they sell your data, then they'd be willing to pay you for that. And the problem is there's no automated way to determine if this is happening. So it all depends on how long the exit is willing to sit on those results before selling them. So it's very hard to punish successfully. Okay. You're thinking something more Tor-like. And yes, that is totally possible. You can distribute, so you have to distribute TCP sessions at minimum across exits because you can't load balance individual packets without TCP getting weird. You can maybe do it for UDP, but not much of the internet is actually over UDP since HTTP is run over TCP. And TCP gets wonky when you try and do multi-source and multi-destination. But sure, in theory, you could easily have a system where you send each individual TCP connection to a different exit. Single exit could reconstruct your entire browsing history. The overhead there would be non-trivial, but probably not all that bad either. Sounds like an interesting scheme. I didn't really put too much thought into just distributing TCP sessions. But for normal Tor-like anonymization methods, you take a fairly big hit to throughput and speed. Hard to get working. The TCP session allocation? No, that's purely an implementation of something that distributes TCP strings. That would actually be as easy with Althea as it would be with anything. But what people are normally talking about when they talk about decentralized or distributed exits, they're thinking something more Tor-like that does explicit anonymity. And the enemy of online anonymity is the very concept of low latency communication. So let's say let's say you have a black box, and this black box is the internet and has 1 million devices coming out. You're putting your packets into the black box, and then they have to come out somewhere else within under a second, or you're going to be angry because your Tor isn't going to be fast enough to load web pages. So this means that somebody with the resources of the U.S. government or various other agencies that can observe the significant number of the internet, a significant number of the world's big connections, and just start watching and saying, hey, we saw three encrypted packets of exactly this size with exactly this timing come from here, and we saw them come out over here. And you can just perform a fairly simple timing attack to identify who's using these, to at least identify who you were talking to. Fortunately, we live in a universe where encryption is fairly good, and figuring out what the person is actually saying is a matter of screwing up the implementation or the device security. Now, there are some ways to mitigate this. For example, Orchid has been working on a system where everybody connected would fill their connection with spam data and the spam data will be replaced by packets when they send actual data. So this sort of mitigates packet timing attacks. On the other hand, it's a level of overhead that we didn't want to integrate with Althea, since most, for like home internet connections, they tend to run on the ragged edge of what the wire can do. For us, we're a little bit slower than that because we have to do the like VPN level encryption to get to the exit. But trying to do a true anonymization protocol on top of that would make us performance uncompetitive for most people. Not to mention that if you actually were to do some sort of system like Tor, exit nodes get blocked from Netflix, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not a viable product for regular users. There's of course no reason why you can't just run Orchid or Tor on Althea itself. We decided to push the problem of securing like traffic out to an application on the internet. You can even conceive of the whole exit node system as just sort of an application built on a local mesh that just so happens to provide connectivity to what you would consider to be the normal internet. You could easily have like an Orchid exit where it runs Orchid, just not in the mesh. And provided the NSA wasn't running around with traffic sniffers in your hometown, you'd be fine then. And you could do that both worlds.
What about node density?
Node density.
Node density. Okay, that depends on the hardware you're going to use. So I actually had to answer this question for the Mozilla Winds application, and it's harder than you think it would be. In the end, the conclusion I reached is that the maximum node density is the density at which point people couldn't use the home Wi-Fi components. Because Althea is transport agnostic. So like, let's say you have a building, and you fill up the building with, let's say, power line Ethernet. You could do 60 gigahertz line of sight networking. You could use networking over infrared blasters if you really felt like doing something weird. So like, depending on how much you're willing to spend on and how fancy you're willing to get with the connectivity, you can make nodes as dense as you want, really. But the density limit ends up being, well, most people use Wi-Fi or use Wi-Fi networks. So by the time you run out of spectrum on 5 gigahertz, you're done, even though you can technically fit more Althea nodes than that in an area. Likewise, you'll need to isolate. So like, we have a subnetting concept which isolates more than, so far we're thinking like 50 to 100,000 nodes is the most you're going to want in one like routing domain. 100,000 is probably going to be pushing it as far as overhead-wise and start to get pretty darn inefficient. And I want to start subnetting maybe around 10 and have 50 be the practical limit. So yeah, but it's still fairly dense because you have that many nodes to, because you have, how should I describe this? So the primary goal of the subnet is that you can at least reach an exit or some other external application. These are, because Althea is designed for a local mesh system, not necessarily a global routing system, because it's actually really hard to do better than the existing internet for the existing internet backbone for cost efficiency and speed. On the other hand, it's the last mile that tends to be easily eaten as far as connectivity goes.
Okay, any other questions? Thunder.
Oh, cool. Well, if anybody has any other questions, I'll be on the riot, so just drop by and ask. Fine.
What's the mistake?
What was that? Oh, right. Yeah, it's Althea. I can send you the Okay.
Oh, I just remembered a question. Maybe you can answer it.
Sure.
It seems like you're doing a lot of stuff with Ethereum. So, how about when you become more blockchain agnostic? How?
Well, I did mention that we have a potential collaboration with Cosmos.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're looking for more interoperable solutions and also Maker. One of the problem, of course, with Ethereum is the price is very unstable. So we think a stablecoin, if one works, we're hopeful that Maker is maybe that one.
Maybe I can talk a little bit about that because it's interesting. There's two types of tokens. There's like utility tokens and payment tokens. So the AGLT token is a governance token. It's not meant as a payment.
Correct.
You don't wanna, it's not a good practice to try to create your own payment token. It's a really hard problem to solve. There's already projects that solve these problems, so you probably want to leverage all the work they've done, like what she's saying, MakerDAO, that they have the DAI stablecoin, spec to $1. So it's a Rube Goldberg machine of stuff that happens just to make it stick to the actual dollar valuation for each token. So it's a really hard problem to solve if you want to do it yourself or your team. So you probably don't want to do that. You probably want to leverage a payment token and then have a separate token for like your governance and your voting or your staking, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a solution. So we also we want to make it as easy for folks to be able to get the currency that they need to pay for their internet. So Ethereum is best with Coinbase, works really well with that. Sorry. Okay, so this part of the discussion is going to focus more on what it looks like in the real world. And some real world implementations that will hopefully get you inspired to go out and get started. Like I said, right now, the tech doesn't actually, software doesn't route payments and have that part functional, but it works very well for routing. So definitely start setting up a mesh and get those features going and provide enough for your neighbor. You just can't charge for it at this time. Okay, so it's really great about Althea too is that it really is flexible, different use cases. So we think talk a lot about the urban case, or excuse me, the rural cases where it's performing access issues, right? Getting that internet to the far out reaches of rural areas. But it works really well in urban environments as well. Many urban places have only one or maybe two, internet service providers, and people are looking for options. We are also seeing, the entrepreneurs, neighborhood deployments, people that maybe want to get started. They can see, a neighborhood with maybe 50 houses around them. There's also the emerging markets use case, which is really interesting. So there's the sub-Saharan Africa, some of these more poor areas, and then also work in those areas as well. With maybe some modifications like the Captain Portal solutions that people can use just their devices. So I wanted to share with you, hopefully you find it inspiring. This is the rural network that we set up in Oregon. We're hopefully, we're looking like we're going to get a big earthquake at some point in time. So that's our disaster that we're.
I have one question.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the Captain Portal.
Yeah.
So would there be any way to have let's say a website in the mesh without having a backhaul, right?
Absolutely. I was going to talk here about that a little bit. So hosted content within the site, even IRC, you can communicate with one another, and that's absolutely something that can happen.
Or basic first aid information.
Yes.
Or how to purify water, or that type of stuff.
So right now, the routing protocol doesn't know how to work within the mesh without the exit node.
Oh.
So, but that is something that we are planning on implementing, and something that definitely can work, and but isn't there yet.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely, I think that that's a really important functionality. We all really feel that that's an important functionality is to have that intermesh communication. And we also talked about commerce as well too. So like, maybe you have sort of a bank participates and has their credit card servers or something in there too. So people can still receive money, which is another big thing when if you don't have connection to the internet. So yeah, so anyway, this is just a really quick 1-minute video about our rural mesh. So this is running Althea. This is some of the things that we were kind of working on. Oops. Right.
The internet. It's important, obviously. Our individual line of communication to the world, and sometimes it's broken. Seeing the troubled aftermath of recent natural disasters, it's got us thinking. It's got us building. These systems that we're working on are robust and resilient community-based communication hubs, mesh networks, establishing communication not just for disaster situations, but for ease of access in more rural areas. Networks that will strengthen our communities by adding a sort of redundancy to our current systems for communication. Our towers are designed to be more portable and easy to operate for the average homeowner, allowing for rapid deployment if needed. These towers provide height and line-of-sight-based access in an affordable, easy-to-use, highly effective model. They may also be used in conjunction with an off-grid power system for your currently shaping severe loading. We're actively testing out a rapidly deployable tower system with Althea's incentivized mesh network software and line-of-sight-based Wi-Fi, creating a reliable, decentralized network capable of providing community-based communication. So let's make sure we've all got access.
So, yeah, we've had some difficulties with the prototype of our towers and that kind of thing, but the idea is that we can really use it in any way, and it doesn't take skilled professionals to set it up. I mean, these people like you and me and everyone, maybe has, in many cases, no technical knowledge at all. If you're willing to learn and follow some steps, we've made our software as easy to use as possible, and I think we'll see some of these emerging markets around making hardware that like self-giving antennas or radio towers that are easier to put up around.
That's interesting. The self-aiming antennas.
Yes. So So we're the group Cascadian MeshNet is also working on self-aiming antennas using like RSSI indicators and movable mount. So I think what's exciting too is that we'll probably see supportive systems emerge around this new ecosystem, right? We'll see people making different types of hardware, maybe like I said, installers and companies that provide hardware for this as well. So I'm going to try to kind of get through this next part kind of quickly because I was hoping that I have some hardware here that y'all can SSH into and take a look at Rita and the different software processes running here on the things itself and kind of take a look at that. So I'm hoping to kind of wrap this piece of it up pretty quickly. We talked a little bit about the different types of internet tiers. So like I said, the tier 3 is the one we're replacing. That's your home internet. We still envision, of course, that the tier 1 and tier 2 will operate the way it does now. There's not really deficiencies in those areas. So typically, if you want, people, of course, can resell their consumer-grade internet. It oftentimes violates the terms of service, but it's not an illegal practice. That's my tier 2, which is your regional. And I was actually looking around, looks like there are a few good options for services that provide tier 2 internet here in this area. Okay, so the different backhaul options too. So like I said, you can purchase it from tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, but it can be anything with connections to the internet. So the interesting idea is potentially in a post-disaster scenario, working with something like Right Mesh or your cell phone hotspot to then do backhaul for the internet. So that's definitely a possibility as well too. Something maybe temporary we need to set up. So the backhaul can be from a wireless link too. So it can really be from anything that can get internet in. Or satellites. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about deploying I think that's probably gonna work, well in a lot of scenarios. Cable would be expensive if you're going long distance, but you can go a fairly long distance with Ethernet. You can get the or coaxial or fiber, anything like that. Fiber would be, of course, expensive, but so if you're going to let's go through the example of setting up a radios and a wireless mesh. So the first thing that you need with radios is line of sight, though. There are some options for non-line of sight that I can go over really quickly. The LTE spectrum, a company called Bicell, sells radios that work, that have penetrable non-line of sight based communications. They're a little more expensive, and oftentimes there are some, I believe, unlicensed LTE bands, but oftentimes it's in the licensed spectrum as well too. I have to go and purchase an extra license. So most of what we talk about is line of sight, where you have 900 megahertz, 2.4, and 5 gigahertz spectrums that are unlicensed, which means anybody can use them. There's lots of inexpensive hardware available for use in those spectrums. So the first thing you're going to do is determine if you do have line of sight to work as you're setting up, or don't. Maybe what sort of hardware you're going to need to mount it, or maybe a tower type of hardware. Like I said, they do have really great solutions for the crank-up towers, and there's even companies that make inflatable towers, which are really kind of exciting. So it looks like, it kind of looks like one of those tube, rocky tube guys, but it's more rigid. Those are very expensive, but I feel like with some adaptability and some ingenuity, you could probably make them a lot less expensive. So there are options out there for, or even just a telescoping pole, right? So that makes it so that you can put it down, and then put it back up. And then it's good for a couple different reasons. One, you can take it down, and if you all have another hurricane coming. But you can also, work with your radio, mount your antenna, and then put it up instead of having to climb a tower. So there's some safety concerns, of course, with having a tiny tower around that too. So that's some good options for that. So make sure you have line of sight. There are the 900 megahertz and 2.4 can permeate some. Actually, and so in the mesh that you saw here in class tonight, we're using 2.4, and that helps so you can see we've got some trees there in the way, a little bit of vegetation. 2.4 is going to be a little more permeating than 5 gigahertz is. So it seems to me that you have in the mountainous rural areas maybe some of that sort of issues there, but not so much in the city. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So you want to basically determine your line of sight, plan a little about how you can use Google Earth to do that. There's some really great tools. It's free. And there's a lot of things you can do looking at your elevation, and of course, path with that makes it a pretty easy tool to use. Choosing the right radios. It sounds a lot like also too, Microsoft did something with white spaces here in Puerto Rico. Is that right? Yeah. Did you do white spaces?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get more, easier to use equipment. That might be more because that's penetrating. So that looks great about that. Do you know how well it works with the buildings? Because you have concrete buildings here.
Yeah. So you don't get that much damage with the 13 beds. They didn't need line of sight. They were mostly from what So they were, from what they told us, they deploy more in rural areas like southeast, Macau area. That's where they have one of their buildings. So they had decent enough connectivity across hills and stuff like that, but there aren't as many buildings there as you would have here in that density of the urban suburban area. So I wouldn't be able to know if they had different experience through the reinforced rebar concrete versus just a regular. But they did experience that line of sight wasn't much of an issue when it came to the mountains area.
Yeah.
Right? But again, like I said, throughput is actually through mags, so it's just not a.
I also heard that, so in urban environments, it's not a good choice because of interference, which is another consideration that you have to do. Yes.
It seemed like when we were trying it in the mountains, we had actually some interference because of the mountains.
Oh.
As well as the city as well too, because of utilities and the interference that was happening. So it's kind of like, well, in the mountains is the mountains, and in the city is the city.
Darn things in the way. Okay, and then install. And then I wanted to share with you too. A lot of the information comes from a website called Starting Around ISP, and some of the slides I have been using with their permission as well. So there's a lot of good tools there, and there's classes that you can take too about getting started, whether that's in a smaller scale or more ambitious. There's lots of ideas about grounding properly and mounting hardware, that kind of thing. And so they've got a great website, lots of good information for that. And yes, we haven't done the training on this video yet, so we did. So some of these pictures are sort of mid-install, and I'm sure you all notice non-proper technique here. Okay, so this is, so tweeted radios, this is the interface to the OS. I don't know if you can see that all right. But essentially what we do with the radios is we set up a wireless bridge, and it basically just makes an invisible Ethernet cable between two radios, and then the routers do all the work. So we don't flash anything on the radios. All of the work is done with the routers. That's also great because we can use a lot of interface. Ubiquiti and other manufacturers as well have a lot of very good interface tools that you can do to manage your radios. So if you're an organizer and you're helping to set up and install these and maintain them and that kind of thing, then you can still use Ubiquiti's interfaces. They also have mobile apps, which is really great. It helps you with install and management. One of the things that I think is really successful is when we give people ownership of their radios and their infrastructure, they also help maintain it. So when we think about more of the passive part of receiving internet from an ISP, we pay a fee every month, and when anything goes wrong, you need to reset the router, you know that there's a problem with the antenna that's misaligned, that kind of thing, so you're going to call your ISP. But when we empower people to own their own infrastructure, they're also empowered to take care of it and reduce the load of the community organizers too. Now you can set it up in a more traditional fashion where your users are more passive and the organizers are operated like a traditional ISP. But I think it's really exciting. I have really good luck in my rural community with folks. Happy to help weld their own mounting poles and get started their own internet infrastructure, and then take accountability when it doesn't go right as well too. So very much a collaboration of neighbors helping one another, empowering the community to get internet access. So okay, so this one here is the station, which is the receiving end of it. A lot of the configuration with Ubiquiti is pretty standard as far as like modulation and channel width. There's definitely optimizations that you can do, and given the area, you might decide you want to have a 40 megahertz or 20 megahertz channel. But it's really just as easy as changing the wireless mode, putting the SSID in, and connecting. So this is a station, so basically this is the receiving end, right? So in the SSID, you're just going to put in your broadcasting SSID from your radio, and they're going to hook up. And you just set an IP address on them, and pretty much ready to go. But like I said, there's a lot of configurations that you can do to optimize it, optimize throughput. But essentially, the CP is just telling them to talk to one another. And so these are here too, and I would encourage you, if you want to, the IP addresses are on the radios themselves. If you want to take a look at the interface, if you want to play around with customizing optimization between the two, you're welcome to do that here too. So I'm going to give you all some time to do that. Okay, so site survey thing, Google Earth. I don't know, did anybody install it? Does anyone want to follow along? Oh, we just gonna say, okay, so basically we're going to look at some node planning. Google Earth is great. You can really take a look at the lay of the land, see things are going to work prior to doing them. So what we're going to do here is look at our line of sight based on Google Earth. So if you want to go ahead and pull that up, basically what we're going to do here is drop a couple pins in the area. Yeah. I'm going to do a demonstration. So where should we start with? We're going to start with here as the location to start. Yeah. Okay, so you can go ahead and just drop a pin. We want to take a look at there. We'll put that right there on engine 4. We'll call that engine 4. Okay, and you see here we have some different describer options. You can just put the styles and colors. This is going to give you a latitude and longitude. This is, like I said, climb to the ground. So you can actually set, if you want to set the relative height here, you can set the relative to ground space here too. So I'm going to move that up a little bit. I don't know, probably. Then let's see, let's pick another location. Let's see we can go to here. How about this guy over here? Okay, so you can take your ruler here and draw a path between yourself and the proposed. This will tell you also the distance here, not in centimeters. Couple kilometers. There you go. So 0.23 kilometers here between yourself and this destination point that you want to set up. So you can save that. Okay. And we can right click on it here. Oops. Show location profile. So over here under your places, you can take a look at the line measurement, and this is going to show you where you're, as you see, you slide it along, where you're at along the line there, and take a look at your elevation profile. So basically, we're going to be okay, right? We don't have anything high in the middle. So that gives you like a visual representation of whether or not that's going to be a line of sight. So another neat thing that you can do is you can look at the view shed of an area. So let's take a look at that. So if you right click here on your place mark, that's actually what's a high up. Maybe this building here. Let's do that. So you're gonna drop it in there, let's drag him on over to this higher up. Is this a higher up location?
It's the Coliseum.
Oh, okay, perfect. So we'll do. So then we can go ahead and take a look at the altitude there. So this one we're going to want to add some height to. Not that high. Okay, so then you can right click on this guy here. And oops. Click on Show View Shed. And that's going to show you all of the potential places that should be line of sight to that area. So it gives you kind of an overview of what you can see when you're doing your lane planning. So you can see the gray areas are potentially what you might be able to see. Google Earth, of course, lets you kind of rotate. Zoom in a little bit. Obviously, some pretty good line of sight there.
So what does the green mean? That you have line of sight to?
Yes, correct. So, also you can see, like the angle, like, if you're pointing out this way, it's going to have this sort of line of sight, and maybe you can, there's some shadowed areas that you should read to. Yes, it's a really great tool to kind of give you an overview. Obviously, you probably want to take an actual practical look at the situation, but lots of line of sight. Okay, so it's the elevation profile. That the viewshed. Oh, so let's talk a little bit about wire connections too. So some different options for the MDU, which is multiple dwelling unit, and old POTS, which is plain old telephone, right? So copper wires. So there's a lot of ways we can actually improve efficiency in older systems, right? So there's a couple different ways that you can provide internet to multiple dwelling unit apartment. You can go ahead and just do your central tower antenna here on a building, and then have each unit have a CPE on the balcony, right? So each unit has a receiving radio. I mean, obviously there's some problems with that. You might have a lot of interference. This really isn't probably the best type of situation. Now with Althea too, they can mesh along the router's own internal radios. So yeah, on our firmware, there's even the ability for these N750s to mesh along their 5 gigahertz antenna. Then you can use the 2.4 in your home. So you wouldn't have to have an external source. So we definitely might see industrial situations that's sort of organic growth, right? If they mesh along 5 gigahertz, maybe somebody just has a router sitting out their window and someone else is meshing with it and so on and so forth. Probably not the most efficient system, but someone we can get it done. The better, more preferable way is, of course, to have some sort of switch and cabinet infrastructure in usually the basement is where it is, and then have, usually what you'll see in these situations is they'll have each floor will have its own cabinet and switch, and then route to each. And this works very well for Althea too. You can just put a router at the central point, and they can distribute to each individual ones too. So this is another way maybe the part owner can capture some income that way. Or, potentially they're offering their tenants very expensive income, depends, hopefully they'll use it in a more magnanimous way. But there's another way that you can utilize that. Then the other thing that you can do is they can bring in some of the new G.fast type of it's kind of like a type of DSLAM. But essentially what it does is it's able to get better throughput up to gigabit speeds using just plain old telephone copper wiring. So they're seeing this is a newer technology that's been implemented pretty successfully. So that might be something that would actually work out really well here too. The unit's about $1,500, which you can go in and use the additional telephone infrastructure. The units themselves, like I said, are about $1,500, and then there's a modem on the other end of for the CPE in the user's home. So, but that's another way to do that sort of infrastructure. There's also a lot of things too that haven't been done well. Either the coaxial and the wiring isn't enough. You can break them into more switching areas. You get more efficiency out of it. So a lot of times we see like older infrastructure that hasn't been done well. We can go into an area, either add GFAS or some better wiring, increase the speed and efficiency, and then add an Althea, and that's a way for apartment building owners or owners of buildings to capture from that equipment and offer better service. Okay, so also power line adapters, I think.
What's G.fast?
G.fast, it's like I said, it's a different type of basically it takes the fiber from a junction box nearby and then is able to have fiber over the copper.
Oh, that's what we were talking about, the repurposing the telephone wire.
Yes, exactly right, yeah. So you have a building that used to be conditioned to do DSL, right? You know, for telephone market, it's pretty limited. But they have new technology that you got fast, a little more expensive, but it's a one-time cost, and then they really improve the efficiency. So we're able to go to areas that maybe only had 4 megabits down or something like that, and then see closer gigabit speeds, you know. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting technology, and I think, you know, something that Althea can do with it all too, improving areas. Especially, you know, if you want to go to a building owner, you know, and ask for this upfront cost, and then if they do the alarm, then they can capture that income too. Because oftentimes it's the case where it's just an ISP, right? They're not going to want. There's no reason for them to spend money on that infrastructure, right? Okay, so router interface. I think some of y'all have already taken a look at this. This is the GUI for Althea. Still under development, so it's a little slow, and some functionality isn't there. The IP address, you can connect to the SSID Althea home. The password's here, and the IP address is 192.168.10.1/Althea, lowercase on the A too. So you can take a look at this interface. We have it up and running over here. So the payments part of it, we want to make this as easy, as streamlined as possible. Cryptocurrency is still gaining popularity, but yeah, so simple as QR code from your wallet to add payments to the router. The router settings here. I think this is 2.4 on the one side and 5 on the other. That's not described here yet. But this is where you can change. So it's really easy for folks to go and change their IP address, or excuse me, change their SSID and password for the different radios. Network settings. So this is where you just choose your exit node. It's automatically going to connect right now to the test exit there in Montreal, I believe. And but it's simply as easy as just toggling to the next exit and hitting connect, and then you're with a new exit node. So you'll see also here ask for an email address. The reasoning behind that is that we wanted to not have any issues with different countries. So sometimes if you're connecting from a different country to an exit, then Netflix or some of these other video streaming services will discontinue support for that exit node. So we just asked that you do put we thought about maybe do a country code identifier or something like that, but we figured it was easiest just to have a simple email address. So we're actually running all of the exit nodes at this time, but there's going to be something when we want to start it. References, and I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I wanted to encourage y'all to come up here and play with the software. If you want to, you can run a cable between the two client node here and this one here. There's some debugging information I can give you. You're welcome to ask station too. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to wrap up the presentation by having you know other things. So, did we have any questions before I conclude?
Well, just to make it official and formal, thank you all for coming. And I guess that's wrap up for this morning's presentation. In the afternoon, we're supposed to have Dr. Corey Baker from the University of Kentucky. We'll be talking about his research and a specific platform called Althea. It's a delay tolerant social network. It's more of a middleware that could provide, it could be an example that maybe inspire you as to the type of applications that you could build if this type of infrastructure was more available, or just in any sort of generic decentralized network. So stay tuned for that. I encourage you to stay. There will be pizza arriving soon. So thanks again.
So actually, if somebody wants to change the SSID here, then we can start playing with getting the client username.